Hey everyone, welcome to the My Amazon Guide podcast. My name is Jason Mastromatteo, and we have a special guest here today. Aaron Moore is joining us from More Amazon, full service Amazon management agency. Aaron, welcome.
How you doing, Jason? Good to be here.
Good to hear. So, if you could just kind of give us a little bit of insight on what you do at More Amazon.
Yeah, I am owner, operator, CEO, and head janitor of More Amazon. Basically, it's a full-service Amazon agency. I handle everything from A to Z, including photography, videos, design, and all that other fun stuff. The unique thing about my agency is I'm a company of one. There's only one person that does all the work. It's me. And it's for those companies that basically need kind of more of a white glove service, more hands-on, more like, hey, you only call one guy, or you only celebrate with one guy, or you only fuss at one guy when everything goes good, or the other way. And so that's kind of unique. I'd like to keep about 8 to 12 clients on board. I have about 15 to 18 brands that I run concurrently for those companies. I have my own seller store as well. So it's just a smaller scale of things, but high quality and good customers and fun Amazon work.
Nice. One thing that kind of stood out to me there that you mentioned that, a lot of agencies don't do. You said you do the photography as well?
Yeah. So what's included in my monthly fees if you sign up with me is white box photography and white box videos. Okay, so lifestyle and all that other stuff, nope, not touching that. But the studio, the lights behind me is part of my studio. But basically, I have become very good at just, white box photography, just show all the angles with some good lights, some good high quality camera called an iPhone 13, which is better than most DSLRs now. And a video too. Again, white box, like nothing crazy. I also pick my clients' products too. I can't be doing large wheelbarrows or something, but I could do it up to yoga pants size and everything else. But sometimes they just don't have the content. They're not showing the right angles. You get questions coming in, and I'm like, hey, I always have samples on board. Just let me shoot a couple photos. It'll match your other photos. Let me put it in there. Or they try to do a video and it's outside and the audio's off and everything. I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna make a video. We're gonna unbox it, show it how it works, put it back together, and put it up. And that's 90% of what people need on Amazon. Just an unboxing. How does it work? What's it mean to me? And go.
That's awesome. Yeah, because it's something that clients often ask for. We do have referrals here, but not something that normally happens. Once in a while, I'll hassle a client like, get your pictures.
Right.
Just send me the thing. I have a camera. I have a photo box. I'll take some photos for you.
Yeah. No, that's where it started. It started from an 18-inch photo box. It grew to like a 36-inch photo box, and now I have basically the room behind me is it. So up to yoga pants is my is my limitation size, but it's important. It's not, hey, I'm not farming it out for other work. It's just kind of an ancillary service of trying to make my clients' listings better and faster.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned you run 12 to 15 brands, including I'm assuming one or two that's your own, correct?
No, I actually do not own a registered trademark myself.
Oh, okay.
So I have a seller store that I white labeled a bunch of products. I have a brand registered on there that it's a reseller product. But I don't own any brands myself. And the main reason why is I couldn't commit to one. I was in the golfing accessories, right? So I couldn't commit to one brand name or one product line, because every time I find something that I would think I'd commit to, I would find something else at a bulk buy discount and put that on and sell it, and then learn about a new product line or new niche on Amazon. But no, I just white labeled and put it up there and sold the heck out of it. But no, the 15 to 18 brands on there are basically my clients' brands. Some of them own, obviously one at least, and then 4 or 5 on some other ones. So they're
So
pretty
so
busy.
with a a one man agency type of situation like this, you have the ability to be a little bit more selective, with your clientele, finding a good match. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, it's to me it's personality and products. So like and I know within the first 90 seconds of that future client meeting if we're a good match, and I've been wrong before, but it's the personality is kind of like, hey, I'll be white glove. I'll be probably more attentive than most because, hey, you got my cell phone number. You'll call it or text me when you need to, and I'll answer or I'll respond. But just how's that person going to use that? Are you going to use that because you're just freaking out because sales slumped that day, or are you going to, hey, can you update this, or when work on stuff that's not that you're concerned about, but not an ongoing problem. A sales slump in the day can be a problem, but it most likely won't be, right?
Yeah. You
So
can't look at the micro data, right?
right, yeah. Oh, you had a bad morning. Amazon's allowed to have bad days, the other one's the product. I think first and foremost, because my sweet spot is $0 to $4 million. So I love startups on Amazon because it's a fresh new start for me. It's like, the baby growing up and going to college, and so the product, I have to know without a doubt that I will be able to improve the sales of the product if it's already on Amazon. I'm not here to take people's money. I'm here to grow their sales.
Mhm.
So yeah, I could come, if it's already optimized and it's good to go and everything else, and be like, I could tweak some things, but I'm really not going to make much of an impact because of your marketplace and everything else. I could change words and do all this stuff, but I'm not going to, unless you just need somebody else to take this over and manage it for you and then do some tweaks, and that's agreeable upon, that's fine. But it's usually the ones I take on is like massively under optimized, massively underutilized. The customer thinks that the product customer is one thing, and it's actually a completely different customer than they think it is. And so I'll go on. I'm like, do you know your customer is not the person that should be buying this? It's a different customer. Here's the keyword data to see it. And they'll be like, whoa, what? I'm like, hey, I need to update everything and kind of focus on this other customer. That's where your rankings at, sales and stuff. And they're like, okay. So yeah, and the product kind of has to be fun. Supplements are tough, man. Supplements are very tough, but some supplements, depending on the ingredients out there, not a lot of people do. So the ones I have are very nichey in their area. So those can be a lot of fun because only 1 or 2 competitors out there selling it. So, but yeah, personalities and products.
What happens if you're one man operation, you're doing everything. What happens if a client that is a compatible match with you via personality, and the main product is good, but they say, oh yeah, but I also have 200 other SKUs?
Yeah, it's an agreement when we come on. I just took on a client a few months ago, and we agreed to 50 ASINs at first, but they have 300 ASINs on Amazon. So I said, I could put 50 ASINs with a template upload goes pretty quick. Maintaining those 50 ASINs plus another 250 is tough. So I just agreed upon usually I could optimize 10 to 20 ASIN parents. I can optimize 10 to 20 ASIN parents a month. And if that's not enough for them, then we don't work together.
Got it. Yeah.
So it's kind of managing expectations, like, hey, and then when a title gets stuck, a picture gets stuck, something else like that, it's going to take longer. I might be just 5 to 10 ASINs that month, but here's why. Here's what I'm working on. Over communicate, depending on the client too. Like if a client asks me the couple questions the first time, I'm going to give the client 5 responses for the next 5 days because I'm gonna ensure to them that I'm on top of it. But yeah, 10 to 20 ASINs is kind of my my butter zone for optimization a month. If they want to pay me more, kind of like take another client spot, they're allowed to, but I don't really like that because they're not getting more value for paying me more. They're just getting more done. They're getting the products done faster, but they'll be optimized soon. And then why burn up the extra money? I want to give them ROI. So I'd rather just take a regular client spot, agree upon the turnaround times, and communicate when it doesn't go right. But yeah, so, that's a good question because that burns up a lot of time.
Yeah, just on the same topic here, Mamoon here asked a question, but I mean, there's only so much Aaron to go around, right? So he has an interesting question: why stay as a one-man show when you can expand and hire a team with your knowledge?
You know, this is a fantastic question because it's something like I've been dealing with for past 3 years, because the history of the account is I lost my job 3 years ago, and I had to sign away a non-compete with my technology that I knew for the past 10 years now. But in that job, I sold on Amazon and everything else. And so I started the agency as a Seller Central account, my store, again, selling golf accessories. Just I was the number one divot tool seller on Amazon for a couple of years. So it was kind of born out of that. And then I needed more money for inventory. And so I wanted to pile that. So I took on some consulting clients and to get more money. And then all of a sudden, consulting started growing, but I was also interviewing for e-commerce jobs and with other e-commerce companies or companies that had e-commerce. I was applying, growing, getting turned down because they just wanted website guys. They didn't want Amazon guys. So, you're too Amazon heavy. No thanks, kind of stuff like that. So kept on growing. The aggregators kept on coming in, kept on interviewing, kept on talking with them. And what I learned from the aggregator interviews was, man, you're dangerous when you're a solo man. When you're a one-man operator, you're dangerous because the skill level that they have coming in, it's what somebody shopping on Amazon for some of them. There's some good talented people in those agencies or in those companies, but the skill level that they have, they just can't hire fast enough or find them fast enough. So basically I kind of took all that knowledge and went, you know what, how big do I need to be? Like figure out how much money what can you possibly do with it if you can't see your family? How much money do you need? You need basic bills, savings, and the slush fund. Okay. Then after that, okay, what else do you need? Do you need notoriety? Hey, do I have 100 employees? Do I have 50 employees? Do I need a big company? I don't. Okay, time. What do you want to do with your time? I want to attend my kids' sports games. I want to be able to pay for the sports, and I want to be able to attend the sports games. And then what do I know the best at it? My best skill set to do? It's all of Amazon. It's the full service range of Amazon. And I've kind of scaled it or put it in a package that basically you hand your product over to me. Unless you tell me something specific, I could run it for you. I could do everything for you. So basically, I don't need to. I don't want to. I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. I don't need the notoriety. I think it's very much an American dream concept. Big company, big car, all that stuff. And and the previous 10 years before more Amazon, yeah, I had a big company. I had a big company, lots of employees, all that fun stuff. And you know what comes with that? A massive payroll every freaking week. and guess who doesn't get paid sometimes? So when you're at the top of when you're at the top management at the company. So keep it small. I don't need to. I mean, I've been there, done that, but also redesigning it. How do you want to spend? How much money do you need? How do you want to spend your time? And what are you good at enough that you don't need to have a big company do it for you? So
there's a certain amount, of freedom, as you kind of mentioned there, when you're in charge of what you're doing and can kind of split your day up and have that freedom to go see the kids baseball game and maybe take a night off and what have you, or maybe you sleep in one day, whatever.
Right.
The client knows that you're taking care of the account, right? And the emails will get answered when you're available.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta some days you just take off if you can. I mean, as long as you got to make sure your numbers are moving in the right direction and everything's covered. But again, the first month or so with the my 3-month communication schedule is the first month you're going to hear from me about every other day because I want to let you know I'm here. The second month you're going to hear from me once a week. The third month you're going to hear from me twice a month, and unless you reach out. Because I'll be on a cadence schedule of updates and everything else. And then anything else you send in, I try to answer it in a couple hours, but sometimes it takes 12 hours.
That's awesome, man. Let's go in and start answering some Amazon questions here.
Okay.
We've got a question. Let's start here from Huazam. It says, "Hello, I'm missing the buy box on my product page while I'm the only seller private label. What do I do? Amazon support never helped me." Go ahead, Aaron.
I think your price is too high for the competition. So if you're the only one on there and you're not in the buy box, Amazon has deemed that your product is not at a competitive price point and has bumped it out of there. So lower your price or throw a coupon on there for short term to get up the sales, and then adjust it from there.
One thing I would like to add, there's a couple other reasons why the buy box would be suppressed or missing there. If going off of what Aaron said, if your product is on a website or a similar white label product that looks exactly the same and it's a cheaper price, exactly, Aaron hit it right on the nail there. I'd go searching and see if there's anything like that. We actually had a question a couple of months ago where we actually found the product that was not the client, the product that they were selling, but it was same thing from the same
picture. Looked exactly the same,
right? Exactly the same thing. And the one on Walmart was like $200, and the one he was selling on Amazon was like $500. And that was the reason. Another reason, it could be adult flagged or hidden suppressed or something like that. Who has some? I would put your ASIN directly in the Amazon search bar. If it doesn't show up organically, then you have some sort of hidden suppression going on there. And you say Amazon support's not helping, but there would be
Amazon support always gives you the right answer, don't they? That's the first I've ever heard of that.
You do have to fight them a little bit. So those are two of the main reasons I would see buy box suppression or hidden buy box there. If you are merchant fulfilled as another one, and your handling time is like 10 days or something like that, I can see the buy box getting suppressed in those situations as well.
But you also, another thing I forgot, you may have an image suppression or attribution suppression on the.
There could be a ghost category. There's all kinds of different stuff. That's the mystery of Amazon. You have to do the investigation.
I would say that it's the price comparison. It's
usually the number one. You hit it right on the head there, and it's usually the number one reason. All right, Jeffrey. On the inventory planning, inventory restock page, do you recommend using the total days of supply column or the recommended ship date column for shipping stock? They don't seem to correlate. Aaron, you want to? You can jump in, or I can jump in. Up to you.
I'll go first. If I miss anything, clean it up. Or let's see. No and no. What you need to calculate. I think the only thing good about the inventory restock page is it's a quick what your 30-day volume was. That's the only thing good about there. So they're kind of switched to the 60-day in-stock rate, which I don't like. I love the 90-day in-stock rates, which everybody's all my clients, what's it called? Stock limits are up now. So what I would say, look at that for your 30-day thing, your 30-day in stock, do the math out to 90 days, figure out how much stock that is, figure out what your seasonalities are. Were you up or down this time last year? Going into the next 60 days, were you up or down? Do you have promos going? Do you have Facebooks going? Could you possibly put it on blogs, TV shows, any extra traffic in there? If the answer is yes to any of those, increase that inventory by 10 to 20% that you could send in to keep the 90 days in inventory and send that. So keep 90 days inventory plus 10% and get it in there. That's my recommendation.
I couldn't agree more. Just like Aaron said, the restock report is a reference point. It's not the end all be all. 90 days, especially with all the inventory increases that have been happening. Like Aaron said, take note of your seasonality and your growth. Are you growing, or are you just going to stagnate and sell the same amount of units every month? If that's the case, a lot easier to do a restock recommendation.
Yeah. And the ship date, I'm like, what is that? Like, just get it in. If you have it on your shelf, get it in. Dust does not make dollars. Okay. Get it off your shelf and get it on the Amazon.
Exactly. Yeah. The ship date, not applicable here. All right. Elegant Glitz. Can I bundle new product with my existing product? I will be sending new inventory of my existing product soon. Can I bundle up with it and then send it to Amazon and keep the same FNS SKU? Okay, there's a little bit to unravel here, Aaron. I think what they're doing is taking an existing ASIN that is, say, like a chocolate bar, and they now want to make that ASIN a chocolate bar with a candy cane, and they want to use the same listing. I'm guessing that's what they're asking.
But keep the same FN SKU. Well, it looks to be okay. So it's going to go down to the ASIN level. You can't make a new ASIN if it's the FN SKU is going to be linked to an ASIN.
Yeah.
So one ASIN equals one bundle. Be sending an inventory of my existing.
They want to bundle a new product with their existing product. So I think a better example here would be right now they're just selling sunglasses, but they want to sell the case with the sunglasses now and add that to the listing.
Yeah.
Which is completely fine. What you want to do is make a new SKU with the on the same ASIN, but she wants the same FNS SKU.
Well, so is this a hard bundle or a virtual bundle?
It sounds like it's a hard bundle.
Yeah. So a hard bundle is gonna need new UPC and a new ASIN. And
but
then
she wants to keep the same ASIN though. So you can do a product change. This is like doing a packaging change here.
Yeah.
But you'd have to make sure the old inventory is depleted, and you switch the pictures and all that and send in the updated packaging, or now it comes with a case or whatever. I think that's what it is. You did mention virtual bundling, in case that is what she's talking about. If you want to kind of go through that real quick, Aaron.
Yeah, virtual bundle. It basically is you need two different ASINs or more, and if as long as on Amazon's FBA shelf, you have two different ASINs, you could virtually bundle them together. Only thing you really need is a new picture of them together, or pictures and some information about why they're together. They're usually found on the bottom of the ASIN. So the ASIN will be there, and at the bottom of the listing will be, here's a bundle. And they don't really sell that much in my experience. So I would if you have a good selling ASIN and you could add a valuable product to it, hard bundle in smaller units to test it out and go for that versus a virtual bundle. They just don't convert.
Yeah, like Aaron said, virtual bundles are mainly a defensive move. They don't convert very well. This is most cases.
Yeah,
they don't sell very well. Leading to the same conversion, but you can flood certain keywords, especially branded keywords, with virtual bundles, so that you're taking up more space on the search page when people search your brand, or if you own a particular keyword in a niche or something like that. But for the most part, Usually just a defensive move.
Yeah. Looks pretty, doesn't sell.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Karen says, just got brand registry thanks to Mag, but now the 3 ASINs associated with my brand are not showing up in my brand dashboard. And yes, I made sure the product identifier is set to UPC. What do I do? And there's a second part here. I feel, oh no, that's a different question. All right, so let's handle this one. Aaron, you got anything?
What I would do first is a template upload for probably do a partial with those but basically what Amazon needs is, all right, cool, you just got branded. Your words were probably, your ASINs were up there already. Amazon needs to link your words and the brand name together. So do a template upload with, make sure your brand names are in there for those ASINs and everything else. Wait 24 hours, check it out again. Then if it's not there, you could do a full template upload, which again, make sure those blank spots have some information on them, because they'll turn blank. Full upload, 24 hours. You could delete it and then upload it after that. Then maybe after 72 hours of doing that, then it's a brand registry ticket or a ticket in Seller Central to connect them.
Going off what Aaron said here, 99% of the time this gets fixed with a template upload. I go straight to the full update because I don't want to wait for the partial update.
Yeah,
a lot of people are scared to do full update because of what Aaron mentioned. If you forget a piece of data or something like that, it goes poof, it's gone.
Yeah.
Make sure to back up your catalog before you do any kind of update by downloading your category listings report. I just did a coaching call last week with one of our viewers, and it was the exact issue here. Brand wasn't connected, couldn't get the A+ linked on the call. We went to the template upload, filled it out, did the full update, and then two seconds it was fixed. So nice. This is the correct way to resolve this issue, Karen. All right, Karen has another question here. I feel that oftentimes I have an exact campaign that's been running a while. If I make that same campaign with same target, same bids, the new campaign will get more impressions, data, any truth. I've been hearing a lot about this, creating a copy exact campaign for some sort of advertising honeymoon period. Have you heard anything about this, Aaron?
I have not run into any of that before. I haven't seen or heard of that. Maybe a little bit of the honeymoon stuff, but I kind of just glance over it. Like, so I cannot validate it or disprove it. I'm constantly, running exact campaigns. You hopefully you have broad and phrase backed up as well, so you have something to compare it to. But I cannot validate nor disprove that one.
So we've kind of messed around with this because this question comes up a lot. And there's no definitive data that I've seen. What you're probably seeing is this new campaign, there's a surge in some sort of search volume, and you're attributing it to the new campaign. When on that same day, that could have happened, especially if you're looking on a micro scale here. I would do the experiment, but stretch it out a whole month and see if there's more impressions or more conversion. Sorry, not conversion, but more impressions versus the old one. And again, you have to take into seasonality on just search terms, not just your products or your ad campaigns or anything like that. Right now, people are looking for April Fool stuff or whatever, versus in the middle of June. So you have to take that into account. There's no hard data of some sort of reset honeymoon period on campaigns like this where they're exactly the same. It's a lot of people seeing things and not looking at the macro view and looking at the micro view instead. That's my opinion. Could be wrong, but again, I haven't seen anything like this.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Aaron, okay, this is an extension to her question. Essentially, does Amazon have some hidden algo with? No, like I said, there's
no. More. And like really, my data on this is I constantly pull words and put into new campaigns and we're focused. It may be an exact match campaign that had 20, 30 words in it. I'll pull 5 words out of there and put it in a brand new campaign to focus on other aspects. And guess what? It performs exactly as it did when I pulled it from the other one, because that's what I wanted it to do. And there's been no, yeah, I think ranking hit, something hit on the back end and boosted sales as it should, because you've been running those words for a while and you got some ranking and some sales out of it. So.
All right. Jay says, best strategy for relaunch of product that was suspended for months.
PPC, baby. If you want me to take that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I mean, yeah. Well, so but the best strategy is stop. Doesn't matter what a few months ago, what was going on with your keywords and everything else. What's happening now? So pull your ASIN, do a reverse ASIN search, figure out your ranking on what you are currently ranking for, if anything, what your competitors are ranking for, those words, the trending up keywords. Maybe redo some words in your listing to match those words, launch PPC on all those words and everything else, spend a lot of money and be patient, and it'll grow again eventually. If it was selling a bunch before, you just basically lost all that ranking, and you got to crawl it, earn it, and pay for it to come back.
One thing on a relaunch like this, where it's been suspended for so long, and everything Aaron just said there is correct here, regarding, just relaunching the exact same ASIN. But if that particular ASIN didn't have a lot of reviews, and you don't have any stranded inventory, you probably got recalled if it was suspended for that long. And depending on why it was suspended, because if you created a brand new UPC, brand new ASIN, and did a new honeymoon relaunch, like pretending it was a brand new product, you might run into that suspension reason again. So there's different ways to do this, but yeah, you need to redo. What we usually do is blank out the entire title, bullets, description, just put the minimal, whatever we can in there, redo the imagery if you can. Everything needs to be done, SEO, and you have to have a good PPC budget, like Aaron mentioned, to get this thing moving again, some momentum. You will climb back if you do things holistically and trust your PPC and have a good budget. We actually had a client that had a product that was suspended for 8 months. It was the number one in the category for like 2 years or something like that, and we successfully got it reinstated. It took like a long time. This specific product has curse words in it, so it was like really hard to get it back. But it's already climbing back to its original rank and BSR, and I think we're like number 5 with the keywords where they were like number 1 a year ago now. So it's completely possible, not hard. But what are they doing? They have a dedicated PPC budget that is actually realistic to get back where they used to be. All right. Hoysam has additional information for his original question. This is the buy box question, Aaron. I already changed the price. Says it's eligible, but it's not always going to show up if they never give me a clear answer. And he has another part here. I have 2 FNS SKU tied to 1 ASIN. Okay, so that's a different question. All right. So, okay, they're saying it's eligible. They're giving him the flip-flop. It's not always going to be on. And they probably gave him the answer that says there's not enough sales volume or whatever for this to be buy box eligible, right?
Yeah. I'll still go to the price. I'd play around with that price.
I'd keep playing around the price too. Here's a interesting one, Aaron. I don't know if you heard about this one, but we had a client that was selling a particular home and it's a closet thing. It's like a closet organizer or something like that. And he was doing great. Everything was fine. all of a sudden his buy box gets suppressed. He wasn't selling it anywhere else. Price was $13.99, something like that, right? But as soon as the buy box got suppressed, all of a sudden we notice Amazon Basics closet organizer was all over his listing, right? Yeah. Really strange, right?
Yeah.
So months went by, couldn't get this fixed, right?
Yeah.
The client was desperate. He went on the forums and had like a really like heartfelt like post on the forums that Amazon took down immediately. And then the next day, the buy box was completely fine. We didn't even have any active tickets open. And now this is super conspiracy.
Yeah.
But Hassam, if you're selling a product that's a competitor to Amazon Basics, maybe do a forum post and see if
think about it. Yeah.
But this is a true story. This is not, and I, like I said, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I know Steven talked about it. And but yeah, crazy stuff out there when you're competing with the master company, right?
Yeah. You don't compete to them.
Yeah, you don't. They're not making any money.
Figure out how not to lose to them. That's your only strategy.
All right, I have 2 FNSKUs tied to one ASIN. What is the best way to separate them and have 2 separate ASINs for the 2 variation? I seen online that the only way is to recall, relabel, and resend. Aaron, you want to?
Yeah,
give them the bad news.
Yeah, yeah. You clear your evening up. Put in a recall order. Get them in and relabel them. Or let's see. You have 2 best.
There's one ASIN. It's got 2 FNSKUs attached to it.
Yeah.
So there's.
I mean, you could turn
one of them off, right?
You could turn one of them off, run that out of inventory, and turn the other one on, and then your main one, and sell the heck out of that one, and then you could avoid relabeling them.
Yeah, I think we need a little bit more information. Or this is similar to the earlier question on when she wanted to keep the same FNSKU on the same ASIN. But yeah, if it, like Aaron said, if it's 2 SKUs with 2 separate FNSKUs, just either recall, relabel, or wait for the one you want to get rid of to go out of stock.
Make sure your images match what they're going to get in their hands when they get it. You could do that old and new packaging image, something like that, but you could run it out that way.
All right. Arslan says, "Hey buddies, I have a question. So how much price matter in supplements, and how do you target right competitors? Everything is different than private label in supplements." Go ahead, Aaron.
Okay, so one of my favorite success stories in supplements is go to your branded go to the brand analytics page and figure out what your supplement shoppers are putting in their basket when they're shopping for your product. Okay, that's going to tell you a lot of things on where their interest is at, their age, demographic, repeat purchases, all that fun stuff. Then start targeting that stuff, and it could be like supplements. It's a product that people think about a lot. That's usually used up in 30 days. So, toilet paper, dog food, light bulbs, stuff like that. Every 30 days with the right campaigns on there for the right keywords for the right person will sell a lot more than going directly at the customer and competing with all the other supplements in that space. The other stuff, sponsored displays, has been really handy on their being able to retarget. So if you have an ASIN that's doing very good for you and you want to launch new ASINs, or a 100 count versus a 50 count, some sort of increase, some sort of change there, retarget your customers. And then it goes along with the retargeting on, what's in their basket. So you could build a lifestyle person out of that basket, certain age, certain activity level, and go from there.
I can't agree with you more there, Aaron. He did ask a side question here on how much does price matter in supplements. I like this one.
Okay, so my answer to that is your price will stay with your customer base. Okay, so your customers, here's sales 101. There's a low end and a high end, and everything in the middle never gets purchased. Okay, so your customers for supplements are going to be low end or high end, and so will their purchasing stuff. So, and the low end, they don't care. They want vitamin C. They don't care what ingredients are in that vitamin C or fillers or sugars or anything else. They just want 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. That's what they're buying. Okay, so that's $10 to $12. But that same vitamin C can be sold in a $51 pack, but it's cleaner, less sugar, all this other stuff in it. And so you have to target your customer at their price point that they're willing to buy. And they're, a $15 vitamin C customer, if they're buying toilet paper every 30 days, they're not going to be buying the 3-ply, very fancy stuff. It's going to be probably the cheaper stuff, right? So you have to match the product assortment that you're going to target them with as well. Core customer, core product, stay on your cost per clicks for it.
There's an illusion of grandeur for beginning supplement sellers, because the margin is so good in supplements, and they go on Amazon and they see these vitamin C powders selling for $69.99. They're like, oh yeah, easy. Like,
right.
I'm only paying 80 cents per unit.
Yeah.
The big thing, like Aaron said, is branding and a lot of cash. You're going to have to spend money on PPC way more than any other category.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, at least what I see. You're talking 15, 16, 18, $20 a click for some of these keywords.
Yeah.
So the driving outside traffic, building a brand, that's how you get to that. Now there's plenty of people that have success selling the $11.99, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C if you want to be in that space. But you're in a sea of other $11.99. I mean, the whole supplements category is a big C. Yeah. One thing that Aaron and I were talking about before the show started was there are still available niches out there, but they're filling quite quickly. Different types of unique ingredients that nobody else is using. Mm-hmm. It's going to be less search volume, but you're going to have more success getting into that niche and expanding your brand into other products that might not be so selective as far as what their ingredients are. All right, Aaron, we're going to fire through some more questions here. Hoysam, my title won't change on the detail page, but in manage inventory is good. What do you recommend to do? Aaron, we already answered this.
Flat file upload, complete update, full update.
All right. Karen says, should canned terms and A+ content overlap with important terms that are already in your title bullets? How much of A+ content should be for completely new terms versus having some overlap? You're always going to have some overlap to make sense. Just standard copywriting. There's going to be overlap. Don't worry about it. There's so much room for SEO juice and the back end and the A+ content and your titles and your bullets. You can have overlap. Don't sit there and worrying that you repeated the same word. I mean, it's almost impossible not to, when you're writing copy. Aaron, anything to add there?
Yeah. Build up all your keywords, keep track of what keywords you use. You should have a couple hundred keywords left over that you could put into A+ content that aren't repeated. If you do your due diligence when you build out keywords, use those at first. If you don't like them, throw in your other higher volume keywords, but use everything up first and then go from there.
Perfect. All right. Sai says, what do you mean by a realistic PPC budget? Can you put an amount or tacos and time scale? I think he's talking about when I was talking about supplements. Yeah. Go ahead, Aaron.
Here's my plan for supplements. 30% tacos first month, 20% tacos second month, 10% tacos third month. You should be profitable by third month, hopefully. And 30% tacos, if you think you should be spending or getting $10,000 in sales, you need $3,000 in PPC. And that's what I mean on talking. If you don't have a clue, start there.
I like the model. It's a forecasting, as Aaron's saying, Sai. If you say I want $10,000 in sales, then 30% at least. Yeah. On a launch, I'd go more. just from what I've seen. And it depends on how many SKUs you're launching. Is it, is it just one product we're talking about? How much competition is in the advertised space on your keywords here for that particular product? It's going to be a lot more for vitamin C versus I don't know, horny goat weed or something like that. So you need to be realistic in a sense of you're going to have to spend money. What happens is people will order the supplements. They're like, oh yeah, I got it all and I have 10,000 units. I'm going to slap it on Amazon and I'm going to spend $300 a month on PPC. You will fail 100% of the time. It's not enough money.
$300 a day. That's good.
Yeah, that's fine. I like that. Yeah. The $300 a month. No. All right, Arslan, there's two parts here. One more question. One of my clients listing is indexed organically on 250 keywords with 10 reviews, and my competitor is ranked for about 1,500 organic keywords. I have extracted those non-ranked keywords. How to use them listing front end, back end, alt text. Aaron?
Find maybe the medium search results keywords in there. Put them and interlace them into your listing that makes sense. The back end stuff and alt text, you don't have to worry about making sense. But if you want to update your title, want to update your bullets, and your visible text on A+, interlace them through there. And have it make sense.
Yeah, as Aaron said, make sure to be using those exact match, highly relevant, medium to high search volume keywords, exact match. So if it's 4 words, make sure you're inserting that into your bullets or what have you. Find your relevant misspellings in Spanish in those listings as well. That's where you're going to put those all in your back end, because you don't want them misspellings on your front end, even though nobody usually reads the bullets, but it's my opinion. It's just for SEO. All right, cool peeps. Hi, gents. Our restocking limit increased significantly in the past few weeks. Do you think it's here to stay? Should I snip in as much inventory as possible? Take advantage of it. Get it in there. I think it's here to stay. I think across the board, all the brands that I'm aware of that we manage, everybody's just been getting random inventory increases without even asking. So
I think you got to be responsible. 90 days of inventory it's always been Amazon's favorite algo. Watch your you don't want your storage fees. Don't go crazy on it. It's still a fulfillment center after all. It's not a distribution center. So as long as it's moving and you can justify it, do it.
Exactly. All right, let's answer this one in 2 words, Aaron, or we'll do 3 words. Okay. What's generally a healthy tacos number?
12%.
I like 12%. I did more words. 10 to 12%. Cool peeps. I've noticed that Amazon advertises our competition's SKU on Google. How to make them advertise us instead? 2 words, Aaron.
More PPC.
Sell more.
There you go.
You don't have control over these ads. This is Amazon advertising for Amazon, not for you.
Yep. If you want to sell more PPC, and then you'll be back up there.
Julio says bag is the best way to find out how much of the total sales is ad sales and how much is organic sales.
Bag?
I don't know.
Bag?
Maybe let's just say what is the best way to find out how much of the total sales is ad sales and how much is organic sales? Your tacos metric. You can use that, but you can pull your advertising revenue weekly out of your total revenue report. Just deduct
two different reports in Amazon, or one report if you have external reporting software.
Julio, he confirmed what he was trying to do instead of bag. I thought bag was some acronym I didn't know about.
I'm like, man, I'm not on my game. I don't know what the bag is.
All right, cool peeps. An email from Amazon cited that they detected suspicious customer reviews and have reduced the discoverability of our products. Search results ads. What do? How long will this last? I've seen a lot of these going out to clients that I know have not done anything, like 100%, because was with them from the beginning and they don't have any hands-on involvement in the account, so they're not review manipulating or anything.
Yeah.
I think Amazon is sending these out One trigger was a review on one of the products that I saw that was removed, and it had nothing to do with the product. It was for another product, and it was a 5-star review. So they're selling towels, and it was a 5-star review for like a replacement motor or something like that.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense. And I think that's where Amazon got the email from, maybe, I don't know. But what we did was we just made sure we were tracking that on Helium 10, and discoverability, nothing's been affected. So I'm not sure if these are false flags or errors on Amazon. If this is legit, you've been flagged for review manipulation. Maybe your mom bought the product and she left a review, and she's never left a review before. But cool piece. I don't think I'm pretty sure everything's white hat there, and I just keep it tracked on Helium 10. Sorry, Aaron, I went on a tangent there. Anything to add?
No, I think you hit it. This can happen. Same thing with rolls in my clients too. I'm like, well, okay, tell me exactly what everybody did in the company for the last 72 hours. Did anybody share a link on Facebook to go to Amazon and leave a review? There's always somebody that did. So don't do it. Just go media quiet on sending links and everything else for a week or two. Calm down. There's always somebody's that sends out there's always somebody in the company somewhere that's proud of the product that does it, that triggers some stuff like this.
I seen this for video uploads too, like upload a video, upload your video, the ones that anybody can upload
from the front, from the customer side,
and then it came and it was like a professionally produced like video from the client or somebody. I'm like, well, why did you do
that? on my products, my wife in my house tried to review my products on her own account and everything else, and it got flagged for this.
Yeah, you don't mess with the reviews.
You need over 7 degrees of separation, but don't mess with the reviews. Yeah.
All right, last question for today, Karen. There's 2 parts here, Aaron. For PPC, can it be said less is more? Having less but core fundamental campaigns in order to keep my tacos low, I determined I must spend max 25 daily in PPC. Less campaigns with more budget versus more campaigns with smaller budget.
More campaigns, smaller budget. Glean the data from there. Something's going to work. Something's not. Roll the budget to stuff that's working. You need auto, phrase, broad, and exact match rolling. Those 4 minimum. And let the breadcrumbs tell you which directions you need to keep on going on. Long tail keywords are massively underrated, I believe. 4 plus more words. So more experiments. Follow the breadcrumbs. You may end up with 1 or 2 campaigns after all your breadcrumbs are follow the clicks, but you need to get there first.
Completely agree. More campaigns, not necessarily smaller budget, but more refined. So Aaron, I want to thank you for joining us. If anybody wants to find Aaron, it's at More Amazon, Moore, Amazon.com, correct, Aaron?
Yep. And on LinkedIn too. Just type in Amazon, Aaron.
Aaron Moore. And appreciate you coming out and answering questions with us and hanging out and telling us about your business and your story. Look forward to connecting again in the future and maybe come on the podcast again.
Definitely. If it's talking about Amazon, I'm always ready to go, man. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, man. Everyone, appreciate you coming here on Tuesday, the live podcast. Stephen Pope will be back on Friday for the normal 12 noon Eastern Standard Time podcast. Aaron, thank you again, and we'll see everyone later.
Ciao, guys.